You, okay? No reply? Nothing? You got nothing to say to me?
I don't believe you.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
Good.
I don't believe, especially on this subject, I don't believe you at all.
Look, this is why you went out and you got OG Anunoby, right? This is why you went out and you got Mikal Bridges for this moment because of the way that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum play. You get Mitchell Robinson back, rim protection. You have a superstar and your point guard who makes all the plays in Brunson when it matters the most. The most clutch player in the playoffs today between him and Steph, however we want to go down. I don't think it comes down to those pieces, though. I think a lot of it comes down to Karl Anthony Towns. Now, look, you can talk about some of his numbers offensively, 10 points game 1, 17, 27, 31, 10. I think he needs to be prolific offensively. Stephen A., I think he needs to be even more prolific and active defensively with how Boston plays, the way they run so many pick and pops, the way they space the floor. Karl Anthony Towns on the defensive end, the ability to chase down shots from Al Horford and Porzingis, I think will be one of the most critical parts of this. Boston loves to play fast and spread it out. I don't question Karl Anthony Towns. Sometimes the ability, if he settles, that could be a question sometimes. Not as much as I question defensively. Can he elevate his level of sense of urgency, guarding the perimeter, getting out the shooters? If he can do that and they can play at a high level, I think they can win 2 games.
Wendy, Jay, I was going to come up here and say that I agreed with Jay Williams about Karl Anthony Towns, who, by the way, is averaging nearly 20 points a game, 53% shooting, 64% from three-point range against the Celtics this year.
Yeah.
But I said, no, I'm not going to go that route because listening to you, Jay, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you. It's not Karl Anthony Towns. It's everybody. They need everybody, man. I mean, they need everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Molly, we need the equipment manager. We need the cheerleaders to get to Boston. We need the bus driver to make sure there's no delay in that Boston this year.
Yeah.
But I said, no, I'm not going to go that route because listening to you, Jay, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you. It's not Karl Anthony Towns. It's everybody. They need everybody, man. I mean, they need everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Molly, we need the equipment manager. We need the cheerleaders to get to Boston. We need the bus driver to make sure there's no delay in that Boston traffic. We need every damn thing. We need some of the Boston Celtics to catch some food poisoning. We need something. We need something because let me tell you something right now. The New York Knicks this year are 0-10 versus the top 3 teams in the NBA. 0-4 against the Celtics, 0-4 against Cleveland, 0-2 against OKC. As Wendy pointed out earlier, they're losing by 16 points. They're losing by 16 points a game to Boston this year. You were right, Jay. It's 43% shooting from three-point range that the Celtics have had this season, 48.3 attempts per game. But here's the deal. OG Anunoby is so important. I'm so impressed with this brother. It's like he's gotten a little bit bigger, stronger, plus he's a stout defender, etc. And then I look at this stat, and against Boston, Wendy and Jay, you know what he's doing? He's averaging 9 points on 30% shooting, 13% from three-point range. Now, that can happen in the series. We need Karl Anthony Towns to be more assertive but equally efficient. We need Jalen Brunson to be healthy and to go at these cats and try to get them into some foul trouble. We need Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown to keep getting treatment and possibly miss some games. We need Jason Tatum to be kind, not to drop 40 on us. We need Karl Anthony Towns to do what he's doing. We need Mikal Bridges, who, by the way, is shooting 43%, 32% from three-point range against the Celtics this year, to up his grade, play better. We need Tom Thibodeau to at least pretend he has a bench because you can't play them 40-plus minutes against Boston with no reserves getting any playing time. We need everything. We need, and by the way, last but not least, here I am, Wendy. Floor is yours. We need prayer. Please.
Wendy,
You know,
go ahead.
I mean, listen, regardless, Molly, I'm going to say this on national television.
Yeah.
I know it's hard for y'all to believe this, but as my boy Jeff would say, I'm a decent guy. You know, I'm a God-fearing individual. I pay my tithes. I praise the Lord. I understand that I'm blessed. Blessings from above. I mean, I recognize that there's a higher being that takes care of me and watches over me and looks out for me. I try to be a good human being. All I'm asking is that we don't get. Can we get more than one game? Please don't sweep us. Please don't sweep us. And if we get a game, can we get a little greedy and get two? That's all the brother asking. That's all the brother asking. I mean, I've tried to be a nice guy.
Your lips
please,
to God's ears.
Please,
Let's let Wendy get in here, though.
That higher power, Molly, is called Kristaps Porzingis, unfortunately, for the Knicks. So I will just say that honestly, like real talk, get the games to the fourth quarter. If do what you got to do to get the games to the fourth quarter, because they are a great clutch team because of Jalen Brunson. And if you can get the games to the fourth quarter, which they haven't been able to do because they're 16-point games, you give yourself a chance. And in all honesty, they need to prove to themselves that they close the gap a little bit, because the Knicks' play in their whole strategy is to outlast this version of the Celtics. And right now, they've lost 9 out of 10 against them. If they're just able to psychologically do some damage, it could pay off in the long run. But I just honestly, if they get to 6, it's worth having a celebration.
All right. I want to switch gears here, guys, because the only constant in life is change, and change is a-coming. The Celtics are focused on repeating as NBA champs, but what happens when it's all said and done? Will Boston be able to keep its big three in Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis together with free agency somewhere around the corner? Our insider Shams had a lot to say about the Celtics' future yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show. Take a listen.
Right now, Boston is fully focused on winning a championship. Like, that is the number one focus, repeating. But I can tell you, the rest of the league is bracing for some level of change to come to the Celtics from their roster this offseason. And, you know, sources have been telling me for weeks now that the Celtics will be exploring trade options in the offseason. This team, this iteration just is not going to be sustainable for this team.
To Sham's point, the Celtics will have 5 players making over $28 million next season, including Kristaps Porzingis, who will be entering the final year on his contract. Boston could be over $70 million over the cap next season. Okay. Stephen A., with the Celtics offseason decisions looming, how much pressure's on Brown to perform during this postseason run?
I don't want to use the word, I mean, I know we're asking a question for the purposes of the show, but the word pressure, it's like he's already a champion. He's already an NBA Finals MVP. He's already one of the elite players in basketball. So I'm not coming across like that. But Wendy knows this better than most, as well as Jay. The Boston Celtics have new ownership. And you got $200-300 million players on that squad with more dudes that you're going to have to